And now, another You Can't Comp This episode highlight.
Now, huge shout out to Ryan from GemRate for these statistics. I'm sure this took you a lot of time, Ryan, and honestly, we're so grateful that you would help us out and give us these stats. So, Ryan, thank you so much, mate.
We really appreciate this. This is,
it's huge.
Yeah. We have to get Ryan on again. We have to arrange a time and.
I don't think Ryan's going to have time for us anymore, Ad. He was on Sports Cards Nonsense recently. He was this week aggregated by card porn. So I think hopefully he's going to explode in like a really big way.
Well, I think that's already happened. I think the data is just everywhere. Like all of this is so amazing, and it's nice to be able to sort of deep dive into this stuff. I know Ryan listens to the show and loves the ways we play with it, but this work has been taking what we did to the next level.
Yeah, so this follows on from the segment that we did on the last 10 rookies of the year. Yeah. So then Ryan went one step further and did the last
12?
30? First, second, and third of each 10 years. Yeah.
12 years.
Oh, it's 12 years, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 12.
Ryan,
down to 2011.
You're a machine.
And he gave us the top 3.
Right.
The third places I'm very I'm shocked about a few of them. Did anyone remember that Kendrick Nunn came third in 2019 to Jar and Zion?
There's some real eye openers there. So Trey Burke's on the list. He came third one year. Michael Carter Williams won the whole thing.
Yes. Yep. That was still. Yeah. Well.
Nikola Mirotic is there. He came second in 2014. So I remember him.
Noel. What the? Yeah, that was weird.
So my memory of him is he got punched out by Crazy Eyes, right?
Yeah.
And literally was never seen again. So.
Oh my God. And look at this: Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum.
That's a huge year, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Right. So what's your takeaways from this? You can either go big picture or you can zoom in on a couple of stats and pick on it.
I'm actually looking at the total grades over the years, and it's amazing to see trends. Do you know what I mean? Like total grades for the Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, like that's hundreds of thousands of cards, right? And to get a gem rate of above 50% means a lot of the cards out there are, I don't know, do we go with the market is flooded with them? Does it signify where there are opportunities? Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, the top 3 for 2022, the jury's out, right? People still haven't been grading their stuff. Things haven't come back, so we don't know that sort of numbers. But it's interesting. Like, yeah, sure. Mirotic and Noel. Yep, sure. There's like less than 400 cards graded between them, and that's not relevant. But the Wiggins factor is there's less than 6,000 cards being graded.
Yeah,
and Andrew Wiggins has been relevant. Like he was a key player. Like a key player in the Warriors championship last year. Even Kyrie's less than 20,000. Like it's phenomenal when you look at that year. And I'm going to zero in on 2015 because it's 3 big guys. Third place is Nikola Jokic. Now look at that total grades. And then look at the card gem rate. We just said, does Nikola Jokic, is he worth the investment? Those numbers alone tell me getting a Nikola Jokic gem card is worth it.
Yeah. So if you don't have the stats in front of you, the gem rate for Joker is 30%.
Yeah. And it's one of, if not the lowest. I didn't know it was Joker. I just found the lowest number there.
That's okay.
And then I went across and went, oh boy, that's even,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So looking at trends, the one thing that I found interesting, if you look at the total grades trend,
mm,
so you can obviously see that massive spike on 19 and 18, like that's,
yeah,
ridiculously obvious.
mm-hmm,
And then the other thing that it sort of piques my attention a little bit is if you look at the years in blocks. So if you look at 2017, then you look at 2015, then you look at 2012, and you sort of look at, the years in between that. I think when you sort of zoom out and you look at it, it actually tells you that which years kind of had like a good rookie class in it. So when I'm looking at this, I'm like 2012, that's a really good rookie class.
yeah,
2013, or Michael Carter Williams, only 259 cards graded. Trey Burke, only 200. That's not great. Then you look at the next year, Miritic and Nerlens Noel, not even 400 cards graded between them. So I
yeah,
suppose
mm,
that for me that actually says two things. So if you're looking to buy a sealed product going back in time, it does matter which years you buy. Of course,
yeah,
that's like stating the obvious. You could use this as a tool to help you guide that. I think the other thing a little bit too is like not every year is going to be a good year, and I think sometimes we get so
yeah,
caught
that's
up
true.
in hype of new releases, but then if you do just sort of zoom out for a couple of years, and I suppose like we have actually spoken about this already to be fair, like we talk about zigging when people are zagging. So if everyone's putting all their money into
Yeah,
Paulo Banchero at the moment, okay, so should you go back and say, well, is Evan Mobley a good buy at the same time? At the moment, is Anthony Edwards a good buy? Is Halliburton a good buy? Because
mm,
is there actually value to be had, you know, moving forward into the future, picking the right rookie, even if it's not, the current year.
yeah,
So the other thing I think to keep in mind about all this too is, so PSA is currently grading 17,000 cards a day. And so if you're keeping that in mind and you're looking at these numbers,
that's
I
insane.
well, I don't want to say they haven't graded that many, but Scotty Barnes at only 20,000, Evan Mobley only 17,000, Cade Cunningham at 31,000. Like when you compare that to Ja Moran at 300,000 and Luka Doncic at 326,000, it's like the numbers aren't there as much
Mm,
as you would think as per the cards are being graded every day.
yeah,
So that's probably my takeaways from that, and I think that's how I'll be looking at this data and to use it to sort of drive my purchases. And then I think my last sort of final thought about this too is that this is really about the eye test, because if you're using the rookie of the year awards to drive your purchases, I think actually you'd be in a bit of a world of pain, because that means you would have invested in Kenneth Faried, Trey Burke, Victor Oladipo, Nerlens Noel, Porzingis, Dario Saric. There's a few here who
mm.
are frankly, stinkers. Kendrick Nunn. And I
Yes,
think, and I'm sort of,
yeah,
and I'm being again self-indulgent here, but like,
yeah, yeah,
I've been buying a bit of Cade Cunningham, and I think I haven't been, hiding that fact. But looking at these Rookie of the Year numbers, I'm okay that he finished third. Like I
yeah,
look at Cade Cunningham, and like to me, he just passes the eye test.
yeah, for sure.
And so, okay, he didn't win Rookie of the Year. Like, yes, it's a little bit disappointing, but I think I'll recover from that insult. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
it's
any
it's
final thoughts on this, Ad?
yeah, it's interesting to know it shows the ebbs and flows in the hobby as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it shows strong years and weak years because I'm sure
Yeah.
that there were. It's not always. Yeah, it's not always up. Is probably the big takeaway.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, you look at as you said, you look at Jar Zion, Luca in those kind of numbers, but then you look at someone as phenomenal as Jokic, and you go, you know what, that might just be an opportunity. Maybe that $3,000 price point
Yeah.
for a PSA 10
Yeah.
isn't so bad when 30% of his cards grade only gem. So there's not a lot of good stuff out there comparison to other cards.
And if you're using that thought, You could also then say, well, there's 300,000 Luca cards.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
pop count does matter.
Yeah. It's like, who doesn't have a Luca? Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
say it like that, yeah.
Here is the way that you can get in touch with Russell and myself and be a bigger part of the show. Now, if you follow the link tree to our Facebook group, that is where Russell and I put our mailbags up, our card versus card, our player versus player, our buy, hold, sell questions. All of those will go up on socials, on IG as well, using the handle @YouCan'tCompThis. Now, if you do have a more tailored question, feel free to PM us on Instagram. You can reach out in our Facebook group, and we'll be happy to respond and see if it's something that we can add to the show. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the support and love creating this content for our loyal listeners. If you haven't done so already, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. So hopefully we see you when we go live. Thanks for watching.